innovation couldn't get more Kiwi than this, a farm bike. In this case, a world-leading two-wheel drive, battery-powered, lightweight electric farm bike. Still in startup mode, Tauranga-based Ubco makes tech electric farm bikes with a simple Kiwi mindset.
In some respects, it's just the simplicity and the obviousness of it. I think it's one of these things, when you look at it, it goes, well, yeah, of course, like, you know, two hub wheels, super quiet, and it just looks extremely easy to use. And the flexibility, I think when Daryl and I were first talking about it, you had this sort of concept of, I think we called it a tool bike, so it could go into police or paramedics or on farm, you know, any range of different applications.
Daryl was one of the co-founders who Chief Executive Timothy Allen met when they were displaying an electric motorbike prototype on display at Field Days 2014. The bike jumped out to Mr. Allen straight away.
There's no exhaust pipe to burn yourself on. It's half the weight of a standard motorcycle. And even if you look at an average scooter, these things are still weighing in at close to 100 kilograms. You know, this thing is 65 kilos today. And you know, we would probably hope to even make it lighter over time, but I think it's the quietness, the lightweight aspect, and the ease of use and safety, I think, has proven to be a particularly important thing.
Ubco formed in 2015 and took its first private investment the same year to get the 2x2 bike into production. Since then, the bikes have been used by conservation workers on Catalina Island off California and adventures as far off as in the Sahara Desert. In just 3 years, the company has grown to an annual revenue of $3.1 million.
Things always take a lot longer and they're a lot harder than what you think, right? I mean, I'm always an optimist, so, you know, you think you can get there quicker. But certainly, you know, from when we started, we entered production with the first bike in 2015. Really started building a retail base and learning about selling a product in 2016, and also understanding how people were going to use it. So who was buying it and how were they going to use it? And so those were quick learnings.
Ubco opted for a hub-powered two-wheel drive system, rejecting the classic belt drivetrain motorcycle formula adopted by other electric bike makers. This makes the bike considerably lighter and quieter.
When someone's using a vehicle for 6 to 7 hours a day, simply removing the noise is actually a big deal. So it's just remove the ambient noise. People can hear their environment, hear the stock. The stock behave differently when you're interacting with them, so I think that's important.
It's also smooth enough for a filmmaker to mount a camera on the back. The company puts emphasis on customizability, and the company sells a range of its own accessories.
It's actually been quite surprising, the demand for that. And you can see that's certainly going to be a good part of the business because it's high margin, and most people that buy a bike will actually think, oh yeah, no, I'll grab a rear deck extender or some panniers or an accessory pack or something like that. So as we develop that, you know, we've got things like trailers under development and bike racks and things like that.
But the bike is designed so almost anything can be attached with basic nuts and bolts. The 2018 model of the utility bike is road legal, targeting commuters alongside farmers and hunters. Part of the attraction for all users, a vehicle with no direct emissions.
Our job and responsibility now is to make sure that on our battery systems and electronics that we have product stewardship, take-back schemes, that we work with our consumers to kind of make sure that the batteries are adequately reused and dealt with in the right way. I mean, I think an average customer wouldn't know what to do with a battery system, right? So it's our job to make sure that that actually gets taken care of.
Part of the company's success was in recognising the growing importance of integrated technology, building an app to allow the customer to monitor the bike and easily add new features, including an upcoming traction control update without having to take the bike into a dealer for service.
Like if you say that someone in Florida has a bike, we know they're in Florida. Florida as a state has particular rules, we can enforce those rules on the bike.
The company picked up a distributor with decent capital in the US and now sells over half its bikes in that market, another 15% in Australia, and can't keep up with demand, selling all the bikes before they're made. The company's first investors, the Andrews family, invested after Jeff Andrews read an early article about the company that resonated with him. He saw the product as unique and related to the three founders. The family first invested $500,000 in the company and have since invested another $500,000, taking a 20% stake in Ubco. Other investors have been the New Zealand Venture Investment Fund, Snowball Nominees and Enterprise Angels. Ubco won a Field Days International Innovation Award in June 2018, 4 years after first displaying its prototype at a Field Day event. Ubco is now underway raising $5 million to drive towards entering the European market, product development and expanding the company's offerings and marketing.
It's probably close to 3/4 done now, so we're hoping that'll go into production in the early part of 2019. That's going to be a massive improvement across just a huge range of things, from battery assembly manufacturing, potential total capacity for batteries as well, drive durability and available power, efficiency, you've got all of these things the guys have been working on. So, and even the electronics stuff, Rob, who's our CTO, Tom's our sort of chief product officer, he's been driving the whole jigsaw puzzle of what we're going to do and what we're not going to do. Rob's been devising all these improvements and how we communicate internally with the bike, improving the speed of comms and the simplicity of all the electrical systems.
But before the Gen 5 is complete, the team at Ubco are already thinking of their next innovation, such as modifying the battery.
Let's just say that you're out the back of the farm. You could literally take the power pack out of your vehicle, plug a skill saw into it or a power tool and use it directly. If you're out camping, again, you can, it's almost like a generator replacement, but it's one that you can put inside your tent. You want to recharge your laptop, your camera, your smartphone, or even run your lights, perfect.
And on the question of a four-wheel vehicle, Ubco says yes, once they can take safety out of the hands of the user and put it in the hands of technology. And it's this level of innovation that Ubco hopes will drive it to reach its forecast revenue of $100 million in just 5 years' time.